Hello everyone. As we all know, hello everyone. As we know, we are currently studying the second module of the subject concrete technology. In this module, the basic topics which are going to be covered, like concrete production and fresh concrete. So basically, batching of ingredient, mixing, transporting, and placement of concrete we studied earlier in previous lectures. Now we are going to cover the topic curing of concrete in detail. So basically, this is the curing of concrete. So इस लेक्चर में हम पूरा curing of concrete का टॉपिक ही कवर करेंगे. As we all know, we have already discussed in chapter 1 or in earlier lectures that the hydration aspect of cement have an plays an important role in the field of concrete. So basically, concrete derives its strength by the hydration of cement particles, and the hydration of cement is not a momentary action but a process continuing for a long time. So basically, it is clear from the above two lines that the concrete अपनी जो पूरी strength gain करती है वो एक rapid process नहीं है, that will take some time, and concrete बेसिकली प्रोसेस होने के बाद एक थोड़ा वक्त टाइम लेता है पूरी अपनी स्ट्रेंथ गेन करने के लिए. So basically, the rate of hydration is fast to start with, but continues over a very long time as a decreasing rate. The quantity of the product of hydration and consequently the amount of gel formed depends on upon the extent of hydration. So basically, hydration process जो है सीमेंट का concrete making के during the making of concrete, basically hydration process also plays an important role during the manufacturing of concrete. So basically, it has been mentioned earlier that the cement requires water cement ratio of about 0.23 for hydration and a water cement ratio of 0.15 for filling the voids in the gel pores. So basically, uh, as we all know, the requirement of water cement ratio is 0.23 for the hydration and 0.15 for the filling of the pores on in the gel pores. In other words, a water cement ratio of about 0.38, it means the addition of these two quantities would be required to hydrate all the particles to cement and also to occupy the space in gel pores. Theoretically, for a concrete made and contained in a sealed container, a water cement ratio of 0.38 would satisfy the requirement of a particular concrete. It means कि जो भी आपका हाइड्रेशन के लिए जितना आपका वाटर सीमेंट रेशियो रिक्वायरमेंट है, प्लस जो भी आपका जो वॉइड्स हैं, एयर वॉइड्स हैं या वॉइड्स हैं कंक्रीट के अंदर, उनको टोटली फिल करने के लिए जो वाटर सीमेंट रेशियो की रिक्वायरमेंट होती है वो होती है 0.15. तो इन दोनों को ऐड करेंगे आप तो 0.38 आ जाएगा. इट मीन्स प्योर हाइड्रेशन प्रोसेस के लिए कंक्रीट के अंदर मिनिमम वाटर सीमेंट रेशियो रिक्वायरमेंट है वो है आपकी 0.38. सो बेसिकली अगर प्रॉपर क्योरिंग नहीं होगी तो ये आपके लॉसेस हैं कुछ तरीके के कि ये इस तरीके के क्रैक्स आपके कंक्रीट में पड़ना स्टार्ट हो जाएंगे ड्यू टू द लैक ऑफ प्रॉपर क्योरिंग. सो बेसिकली दिस इज द ग्राफ of here in x-axis we represent the water cement ratio, which is in the range of 0.28 to 0.44, and with an interval of 0.04040404. And here is in the y-axis the compressive strength is present, which is in MPa form, and 10 to 70 with the interval of 10. So basically, in one day, here is the graph represents the between the compressive strength and the water cement ratio. The water cement ratio अगर आपका है वो 0.28 से 0.44 तक वैरी कर रहा है, उसी के रिगार्डिंग आपकी compressive strength दी गई है. So here water of hydration and the same time no capillary waves would be left. So basically, it is clear from the above graph and the language that for a particular hydration and to filling the pores in the concrete, we need the water cement ratio in the range of 0.38. However, it is seen that practically a water treatment ratio of 0.5 will be required to complete the hydration in a sealed container for keeping up the desirable relative humidity level. So, but in practical, the water treatment ratio is required mainly is 0.5. In the field and in actual work, it is a different story, even though a higher water treatment ratio is used. Since the concrete is open to atmosphere, the water used to concrete evaporates and the water available in the concrete will not be sufficient to effective hydration to take place, particularly in the top layer. As we all know, कि कंक्रीट जो हमारा कहीं पे भी आप अगर आप कंक्रीट पॉर कर रहे हैं, कोई भी स्ट्रक्चरल एलिमेंट जो कि आप कंक्रीट से बना रहे हैं, अगर उसको आप प्रॉपरली वाटर सीमेंट रेशियो उसका जो है वो 0.5 तक इसलिए रखा जाता है फील्ड में, जस्ट बिकॉज कुछ ना कुछ जो वाटर होगा वो कंक्रीट की टॉप लेयर से वो थोड़ा इवेपोरेट होगा, इसलिए ज़्यादा लिया जाता है वाटर सीमेंट रेशियो। अगर आप वाटर सीमेंट रेशियो कम लेंगे और कुछ ना कुछ वाटर आपका इवेपोरेट है कि एटमॉस्फेयर में जा रहा है, तो आपका वो कहीं ना कहीं हाइड्रेशन को अफेक्ट करेगा। So basically, it is clear that that in a theoretical portion, water cement ratio may be taken as 0.38, but in field we are mainly taking the water cement ratio as the value of 0.5. Curing can also be described as keeping the concrete moist and warm enough so that the hydration of cement can continue. More elaborately, it can be described as the process of maintaining a satisfactory moisture content and a favorable temperature in concrete during the period immediately following placement, so that the hydration of cement may continue until the desired properties are developed to a sufficient degree to meet the requirement of service. So basically, it is clear from the above these lines that वाटर में एक मॉइस्चर कंटेंट को मेंटेन करने के लिए भी क्योरिंग हम करते हैं। इसके अलावा हाइड्रेशन प्रोसेस को जो कि सीमेंट या जो कि कंक्रीट पावरिंग के जस्ट बाद से स्टार्ट होता है, उसको मेंटेन करने के लिए क्योरिंग की जरूरत हमें पड़ती है। क्योरिंग इज बीन गिवन अ प्लेस ऑफ इंक्रीजिंग importance as demand for high quality concrete is increasing. It has been recognized that the quality of concrete shows all round improvements with efficient uninterrupted curing. So basically, it is clear that curing is also an important phenomena for making a perfect or desirable concrete with respect to the strength as well as the durability of that particular concrete. So following are the methods for curing. So basically curing methods may be divided into mainly 4 categories. First one is water curing, second one is membrane curing, application of heat, and fourth one is miscellaneous. So basically these are the basic methods for curing, and these all are will be will and these all are present here. So and the first one is water curing. So basically this is by far the best method of curing as it satisfies all the requirements of curing, namely promotion of hydration, elimination of shrinkage and absorption of the heat of hydration. Basically water curing है, ये आपका सबसे ज़्यादा यूज होने वाला curing phenomena है। ये बेसिकली आपका हीट ऑफ हाइड्रेशन तो आपकी उसके प्रमोशन के लिए, उसको एडिक्वेट करने के लिए वो तो यूज होता ही होता है। इसके अलावा श्रिंकेज या हीट जो भी होती है कंक्रीट की, उसके हीट ऑफ हाइड्रेशन के एब्जॉर्प्शन के लिए और साथ ही साथ श्रिंकेज फेनोमेना को कंट्रोल करने के लिए भी वाटर क्यूरिंग यूज होती है। It is pointed out that even if the membrane method is adopted, it is desirable that a certain extent of water curing is done before the concrete is covered with membranes. Water curing can be done in the following ways. So basically, here are the methods for performing water curing, and the first one is immersion, ponding, spraying or fogging, and last one is wet covering. So basically, these are all the types of wet curing. So basically, the precast concrete item may normally immersed in curing tanks for a certain duration. Pavement slab, roof slab, etc. are covered underwater by making small ponds. Vertical retaining walls or plastered surface or concrete column, etc. are cured by spraying water. So basically, जो आपका normally प्रीकास्ट कंक्रीट आइटम्स होते हैं वो आप पॉन्ड में डायरेक्टली पॉन्ड में आप उसको कुछ टाइम के लिए आप क्योर कर सकते हैं। इसके अलावा जो पेवमेंट स्लैब्स, रूफ स्लैब, ये सब होती है, इनको आप स्मॉल पॉन्ड में आप पॉन्डिंग कर सकते हो उनकी. वर्टिकल रिटेनिंग वॉल और प्लास्टर्ड सरफेस और कंक्रीट कॉलम एक्सेट्रा आर क्यूर्ड बाय द स्प्रेइंग ऑफ वाटर. सो जितने भी वर्टिकल एलिमेंट हो गए लाइक रिटेनिंग वॉल, प्लास्टर सरफेस या कंक्रीट कॉलम, इनको आप स्प्रेइंग के थ्रू क्योर कर सकते हैं. इन सम केसेस wet covering such as gunny bags, as in cloth, jute matting, straw, etc. are wrapped to vertical surface for keeping the concrete fit. So basically होता है ये कि अगर vertical elements है concrete के structural member में, तो उनको अगर आपको क्योर करना है तो आप क्या करेंगे, बेसिकली वेट कवरिंग उनकी कर देंगे, जो कि जूट बैग या बेसिकली जूट बैग का यूज होता है ज़्यादातर साइड्स पे. इसको आप रैप कर देते हैं और अगर उस पर आपको परमानेंटली उसको वेट रखना है तो आप उस पर पानी का स्प्रे करते रहते हैं और वो आपका वेट कवरिंग कहलाता है. So now we are going to proceed the topic from membrane curing, which is the second most curing method. Sometimes concrete works are carried out in places where there is acute shortage of water. The lavish application of water for water curing is not possible for reason of economy. It has been printed out earlier that the curing doesn't mean only application of water, it means also creation of condition for promotion of uninterrupted and progressive hydration. So basically, sometimes concrete is placed in some inaccessible, difficult or far off place. The curing of such concrete cannot be properly surveyed. The curing is entirely left to the workmen who do not quite understand the importance of regular uninterrupted curing. So basically, large numbers of sealing compounds have been developed in recent years. The idea of obtaining the continuous seal over the concrete surface by means of firm immersion film to prevent moisture in concrete form escaping by evaporation. So basically, membrane curing is a good method for maintaining a satisfactory state of wetness in the body of concrete to promote continuous hydration when original water cement ratio is used not less than 0.5. To achieve best results, membrane is applied after 1 or 2 days of actual wet curing. Since no replenishing of water is done after the membrane has been applied, it should be ensured that the membrane is of good quality and is applied effectively. 2 or 3 coats may be required for effective sealing of the surface to prevent the evaporation of water. So basically, membrane curing is also a very important phenomena. ये वहाँ पे यूज होती है जहाँ पे आप basically curing आप properly नहीं कर सकते हैं, तो वहाँ पे आप एक membrane या कुछ ऐसी लेयर आप वहाँ पे परफॉर्म करते हैं जो कि वाटर को सील कर देती है उसी कंक्रीट के अंदर. या फिर कंक्रीट आपने कवर की, उसके बाद आप वाटर क्योरिंग कर दी, उसके बाद वो मेम्ब्रेन की लेयर अगर है तो वो पानी जो है या वाटर जितना है वो सारा इवेपोरेशन से बच जाएगा और प्रॉपर क्योरिंग या प्रॉपर आपको क्योरिंग वहाँ पे परफॉर्म होगी और हीट ऑफ हाइड्रेशन और अदर फिनोमिना जितने भी कंक्रीट के हैं जो कि कंक्रीट को ड्यूरेबल या स्ट्रेंथ उसको परफॉर्म प्रोवाइड करते हैं वो प्रॉपरली वहाँ पे एग्जिस्ट कर जाएंगे. Next one is application of heat. The development of strength of concrete is a function of not only time but also that the temperature. When concrete is subject to higher temperature, it accelerates the hydration process, resulting in a faster development of strength. Concrete cannot be subject to dry heat to accelerate the hydration process, as the presence of moisture is also an essential requisite. Therefore, subjecting to concrete to higher temperature and maintaining the required wetness can be achieved by subjecting the concrete to steam curing. So basically, heat जो phenomena है concrete की strength provide करने में also plays an important role for providing a good strength in concrete. So basically, a faster attainment of strength will contribute to many other advantages mentioned below. Concrete is vulnerable to damage only for short time. Concrete member can be handled very quickly. Less space will be sufficient of casting yield. Smaller curing tank will be sufficient. The higher atom is possible for a given capital outlay. The work can be put on the service at a much early time. A fewer number of formwork will be sufficient, or alternatively, with a given number of formwork, more or turn will be achieved. Pre-stressing bed can be released early for further casting. So basically, these are the advantages of the application of heat, just because when concrete is subjected to the higher temperature, it also accelerates the hydration process, resulting in faster development of strength. मतलब कंक्रीट में जब भी अगर हीट या फिर आप टेम्परेचर बढ़ेगा उसका, तो फिर वो हीट ऑफ हाइड्रेशन फिनोमेना को एक्सेलरेट करेगी, जो कि आपका अर्ली स्ट्रेंथ गेन करने में काफी इफेक्टिव है. From the above-mentioned advantages can be seen that steam curing will give not only economical advantage but also technical advantages in the matter of prefabrication of concrete elements. So basically, it is clear that कि जितना भी आपका ये steam curing है वो आप heat उससे manage कर सकते हैं basically, and स्टीम क्यूरिंग के और क्या क्या एडवांटेजेस हैं वो हम यहाँ पे आगे पढ़ेंगे. स्टीम क्यूरिंग एट ऑर्डिनरी प्रेशर, स्टीम क्यूरिंग एट हाई प्रेशर, curing by infrared radiation, and electrical curing. So basically, the exposure of concrete to higher temperature is done under the following manner. It means कि concrete में जब भी आपको higher heat provide करनी होगी, तो basically these are 4 methods for providing a concrete the heat phenomena. Due to this, the concrete can attain its higher strength, and the speed of heat of hydration also accelerates, and by this we can also achieve the good strength of concrete with in early time. So first one is steam curing at ordinary pressure. So basically the method of curing often adopted for prefabricated concrete elements, and applications of steam curing is to cast in situ construction will be a little difficult task. However, at some place it has been tried for in situ construction by forming a steam jacket with the help of tarpaulin or thick polyethylene sheets. But this method for application of steam is for in situ work is found to be wasteful, and the intended rate of development of strength and benefit is not really achieved. So basically steam curing at ordinary pressure, जब भी आप steam curing करेंगे ordinary pressure से, मतलब pressure बहुत ज़्यादा concrete elements में नहीं provide होगा या नहीं लगेगा, then ये बहुत ही ज़्यादा useful नहीं results देती है. But स्टीम जैकेट जो भी होगी उसको आप किस चीज़ से रोक सकते हैं, दैट इज थिक पॉलीएथिलीन और टारपुलिन. इन दोनों मटेरियल या शीट्स के साथ साथ हम ऑर्डिनरी प्रेशर पे स्टीम क्यूरिंग की कंक्रीट की कर सकते हैं. So basically here is a graph present between the temperature in degree centigrade and the time for concreting for steam curing. So basically around 5 hours the concrete is able to settle, and then we can easily rise the temperature of the concrete about 80 degrees centigrade, 70 to 80 degrees centigrade, and the starting period is called the delay period, and when the graph is gradually increasing then it is called the heating period, and after some times around 15 hours the maximum temperature of in the concrete provided, and after that the concrete cooled slowly, and this is called the cooling period here, and this is the graph between the temperature in degrees centigrade and times in hours. Basically steam curing at ordinary pressure is applied mostly and prefabricated elements stored in a chamber. So basically steam curing वहाँ provide की जाती है ऑर्डिनरी प्रेशर अप्लाई करके. बेसिकली प्रीफैब्रिकेटेड एलिमेंट्स जो कि आपके पहले से ही चैम्बर में स्टोर है, द चैम्बर शुड बी इन बिग इनफ टू होल्ड अ डेज प्रोडक्शन. बेसिकली काफ़ी बड़े चैम्बर्स होते हैं जिसमें आप ये स्टीम क्यूरिंग एट ऑर्डिनरी प्रेशर प्रोवाइड करते हैं. So basically an accelerated hydration takes place at this higher temperature, and the concrete products attain the 28 days strength of normal concrete in about 3 days. So basically due to this concrete can easily attain its 28 days strength of normal concrete in about 3 days. So basically large number of bridges are being built for infrastructural development in India. There are requirements of costing in innumerable precast pre-stressed girders. These girders are steam cured for faster development of strength, which may has many other associated advantages. So basically जितने भी आपके girders होते हैं जो कि bridge engineering या bridge during the construction of bridge use होते हैं, वो सारे ही steam cured होते हैं just because of to gain the strength at a minimum time, and the following are the advantages also associated with it. And the steam curing cycle basically consists of an initial delay prior to steaming, a period of increasing the temperature, a period of retaining the temperature, a period of decreasing temperature. As we discussed earlier in the previous graph, that कि स्टार्टिंग में हमारा टेम्परेचर जो थोड़ा सा होगा वो डिले होगा, या फिर एक प्रॉपर टाइम तक जब तक कंक्रीट सेट हो रहा है तब तक वो स्टीम क्योरिंग नहीं करेंगे, नॉर्मल टेम्परेचर रहेगा। फिर आप टेम्परेचर इंक्रीज करेंगे, फिर एक सर्टेन टाइम ड्यूरेशन तक वो कांस्टेंट टेम्परेचर रहेगा, एंड एट एंड डिक्रीजिंग ऑफ टेम्परेचर, या टेम्परेचर धीरे धीरे वो डिक्रीज करेगा। Next one is high pressure steam curing. In the steam curing at atmospheric pressure, the temperature of the steam is naturally below 100 degrees centigrade. The steam will be converted into water, thus it can be called in the way as hot water cooling. This is done in an open atmosphere. So basically, high pressure steam curing ये होगी कि वो एटमॉस्फेरिक प्रेशर पे जब भी आप करेंगे, मतलब वो 100 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेड से कम है, जैसे कि हमने प्रीवियस ग्राफ में पढ़ा कि टेम्परेचर जो रहता है वो इन द रेंज ऑफ 70 to 80 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेड रहता है। तो वो बाद में आपका वो जो स्टीम है वो चेंज होके वाटर में बन जाती है और प्रॉपरली उसको क्योर कर देती है कंक्रीट को। द हाई प्रेशर स्टीम क्योरिंग इज समटाइम डिफरेंट फ्रॉम ऑर्डिनरी स्टीम क्योरिंग इन दैट क्योरिंग इज कैरिड आउट इन द क्लोज्ड चैम्बर। दिस सुपरहीटेड स्टीम एट हाई प्रेशर एंड हाई टेम्परेचर इज अप्लाइड ऑन द कंक्रीट। This process is also called autoclaving. The autoclaving process is practiced in curing precast concrete products in a factory particularly. So basically यहाँ पे भी precast members होते हैं, उसमें अब high temperature पे और high pressure पे concrete को कंक्रीट पर हाई प्रेशर और हाई टेम्परेचर लगाते हैं, which is also known as the autoclaving condition. So basically the following advantages are derived from the high pressure steam curing, which is high pressure steam cured concrete develops in 1 day or less than the strength as much as 28 days strength of normally cured concrete. The strength developed doesn't show retrogression. High pressure steam cured concrete exhibits higher resistance to sulfate attack, freezing and thawing action, and chemical action. High pressure steam cured concrete exhibits lower drying, shrinkage, and moisture movement. So basically, some are the basic advantages of high pressure steam curing, in which first one is जो भी हमारी स्ट्रेंथ है कंक्रीट की 28 डेज की, वो लेस देन 1 डे में वो गेन हो जाती है। सेकेंड वन इज दिस हाई प्रेशर स्टीम क्यूरिंग ऑल्सो gives the resistance to the sulfate attack, freezing and thawing action. Also, high pressure steam curing exhibits lower drying shrinkage and the moisture movement. So, ये moisture movement को shrinkage phenomena को भी control करती है. So basically, in this the temperature is about of 175 degrees centigrade, and to a steam pressure और जो steam pressure रहेगा उसका वो 8.5 kg per square centimeter रहेगा यहाँ पे. Next one is curing by infrared radiation. So basically, curing of concrete by infrared radiation has been practiced in very cold climate regions in Russia. It is claiming that much more rapid gain of strength can be obtained than with steam curing, and the rapid initial temperature doesn't cause a decrease in the ultimate strength as in the case of steam curing of at ordinary pressure. The system is very often adapted for a curing of hollow concrete products. The normal operative product temperature is kept about 90 degrees centigrade. So basically, when this type of curing is performed, mainly in the hollow concrete sections, and the temperature of this type of curing is all about 90 degrees centigrade. Next one is electrical curing. So basically, this method is also a great method for the curing of concrete, which is applicable mostly to the very cold climatic regions. तो ऐसी चीज जहाँ पे जो कि बहुत ही ज़्यादा cold climatic condition वाले areas हैं, वहाँ पे हम electrical curing का use करते हैं. Concrete can be cured electrically by passing an alternating current through the concrete itself between two electrodes, either buried in or applied to the surface of concrete. So basically, डायरेक्टली अल्टरनेट करंट का यूज होता है कंक्रीट को क्योर करने के लिए, एंड care must be taken to prevent the moisture from going out, leaving the concrete completely dry. As this method is not likely to develop in a country for a long time to come. It aspect is not discussed in detail. So basically ये mainly special case की curing है जो कि वहाँ पे यूज होती है जहाँ पे आप बहुत ही ज़्यादा ठंडा इलाका है वहाँ पे. Next one is miscellaneous method of curing. So basically calcium chloride is used either as a surface coating or as an admixture. It has been used satisfactorily as a curing medium. Both these methods are based on the fact that calcium chloride, being a salt, shows affinity of moisture. The salt not only absorb moisture from the atmosphere but also retain it at the surface. This moisture held as a surface prevents the mixing water from evaporation and thereby keep the concrete wet for a long time to promote hydration. तो बेसिकली कैल्शियम क्लोराइड जो होता है आपका वो ये जितना भी आपका वाटर का इवेपोरेशन है उससे ये कंक्रीट को बचाता है और वाटर अगर कंक्रीट का है वो इवेपोरेट नहीं हो पा रहा है, इट मींस इट गिव्स द प्रॉपर heat of hydration or the hydration reaction, which also helps in the for gaining the proper strength of concrete as well as to fill the pores of the concrete. So basically in this lecture we studied about the curing phenomena, also the methods of curing in detail. So basically formwork prevents escaping of moisture from the concrete, particularly in the case of beams and columns. So keeping the formwork intact and sealing the joint with wax or any other sealing compound prevents the evaporation of moisture from the concrete. This procedure of promoting hydration can be considered as one of the miscellaneous methods of curing. So basically miscellaneous method या different types of other methods for curing a concrete, which gives the result that first one is the mixing of calcium chloride as an admixture in the concrete, and this calcium chloride acts as a salt which also prevents the evaporation of the water from the concrete, and when the evaporation doesn't occur, and then the heat of hydration or the hydration process of the cement works properly, and it will give the perfect setting time for the concrete and to attain the desirable strength of that particular grade of concrete in different type of structural elements. So basically also the form work और जो भी फॉर्म वर्क होता है कंक्रीट के माउल्ड्स होते हैं जो कि आपके बीम कॉलम या इस तरीके के स्ट्रक्चरल एलिमेंट्स के लिए यूज होते हैं वो भी एक हिसाब से क्योरिंग एक तरीके की यही है कि अगर वो फॉर्म वर्क है और वो फॉर्म वर्क के लिए वाटर को इवेपोरेट नहीं होने जाएगा क्योंकि एटमॉस्फेयर और कंक्रीट के बीच एक मीडियम है जो कि क्लोज मीडियम है. अगर उसके कॉर्नर्स या जॉइंट जितने हैं उसको प्रॉपर्ली वैक्सिंग उसकी वैक्स उस पर लगा दिया जाए या कुछ ऐसा मीडियम जो कि वाटर को एब्जॉर्ब ना करे और वाटर को सिचुएट रखे उसी फॉर्म वर्क के अंदर, तो वो भी आपका एक तरीके की क्योरिंग में ही आता है, मिसलेनियस टाइप की क्योरिंग में, जो कि कंक्रीट को एक प्रॉपर स्ट्रेंथ देने में कैपेबल है या फिर कंक्रीट की जो पोर्स होते हैं उनको फिल करने में कैपेबल है. So for this, in this lecture we studied about the concrete curing or the curing of concrete. तो curing अगर नहीं करेंगे तो heat of hydration properly नहीं होगा और कंक्रीट में स्ट्रेंथ गेन करने के लिए तो रैपिड स्ट्रेंथ नहीं आती है, वो तभी आती है जब कंक्रीट आपकी स्लोली आपकी सेट हो रही है या स्लोली वो ड्राई हो रही है. इसके लिए हाइड्रेशन प्रोसेस बहुत जरूरी है जिसके लिए हम क्योरिंग करते हैं और ड्यू टू दिस हाइड्रेशन प्रोसेस कंक्रीट विल अटेन इट्स फुल स्ट्रेंथ. सो फॉर दिस लेक्चर दैट इज इनफ. थैंक यू.